It's a matter of the way in which the Islamic world began, because the Islamic world began with a prophet who was preaching a religious message of monotheism, and who also, in the course of his career as a prophet, established a state. So that this was a state established by a prophet, and it was then continued after his death by his successors, who are referred to as deputies, either deputies of God or deputies of the prophet. So that the whole beginning of Islamic history is one in which religion and politics are very closely, they are intertwined right from the start. So that that early Islamic model is something that people can appeal to at the present day. They can say, our religion was right back at the beginning, and back at the beginning, this is what it was like. But there's one qualification, if I may add a qualification I would like to add here, and this is something I think very perceptive that was said by a scholar who works on Morocco, and he points out that Islamists, politicians of the Islamist kind, are always telling people again and again that in Islam, religion and politics are completely one thing. And he points out that they don't tell people again and again that Muhammad was a prophet. They don't tell people again and again that in the afterlife the good will go to paradise and the bad will go to hell. In other words, they don't repeat those things because they are taken for granted by everybody. But the fact that they repeat so often that Islam and politics are linked, that suggests that maybe for many people that linkage is not so real. They have to be told that Islam and politics are linked. So maybe, there is something in the Islamic world that is not so different from the Western attitude, sort of at a deeper level. Something that we see in the Islamic world is that regimes that insist most strongly on the intertwining of religion and politics are also typically very authoritarian regimes. They are not regimes that are where things are open to much discussion. And that again suggests that not everybody is completely comfortable with this kind of intertwining. One of the essential things I think about the role of the West in modern history is that it's not just military power, it's a kind of cultural power. That is to say that if you are a society in some other non-Western part of the world, you cannot simply arm yourself with weapons against the West. You have to adopt a lot of the culture of the West. And adopting the culture of somebody who is on top of you, so to speak, is humiliating. People don't like to do it. And you have to justify it in some way that doesn't make it seem that you are just giving in to the West. And I think the Islamic revival, or some forms of it, have supplied an ideology that can do this. What at bottom a lot of the Islamists are saying is, look, we can be modern. We can be as modern as the West without betraying our religious loyalties and without adopting all the bad things about the West that we don't want to have here. It's a way of justifying adopting a lot from the West, but presenting it in such a way that you're not betraying your identity.